My name is Rhonda Oellien. I recently started volunteering through the youth events and services, and my husband, son, and I have been attending this church for a little over a year. And this is my story. Looking at the word story, I automatically think of a start and finish, and somewhere in between is the aha moment, or moral of the story. Spiritually, my aha moment came while I was in high school. I lived in Georgia and attended a church that had an amazing youth group and a youth minister who was so instrumental in me finding my way to God. Those high school years for me were seamless, and I assumed that once I hit the real world, it would be the same. But failing to implant into a church community when I moved away from home detoured me for just a bit. I did, however, meet a beautiful soul sister who I found to have the same spiritual mindset as myself. Our background was different. She grew up Catholic household, but we had long conversations of who God was and what Jesus meant to both of us. She and I would talk about everything and anything, and I would have to say that at 18, I found a fierce, true friend who would stand the test of time. She and I experienced so many things together. The struggles of relationships, marriages, starting families, losing loved ones, living close or even miles apart. She was there. I never thought of a day that she wouldn't be with me. So when I got the unexpected message that something was wrong, I truly crumbled to my knees. She had been at a friend's house. A friend. No one knew what was happening, just that there had been a fire. For days I waited for the news and clung to my phone or even the TV. You see, this story, my story, was a national news story. So many theories were being talked about, but no one knew the truth. I had never prayed so hard. Please, God, please keep them safe. Please keep them safe. Until the smoke had cleared, no one knew anything, and they found that she and her 8-year-old son had died a horrific death at the hands of someone who had been a close family friend, and that her 16-year-old daughter had been kidnapped. I had lost my closest friend, my soul sister. She was gone, and her son with her. I had never felt this broken. I couldn't breathe. But we had hope that my goddaughter could be found. That in a world of more negative thinking than positive, there was hope. We called on all prayer warriors. God, please let her be found and bring her home safely. Amber alerts were sounding alarms. APBs set up, national news posting alerts. Please, God, let her be a miracle and not a statistic. Please. I didn't and don't understand why they had to lose their lives, but our God is an amazing God. He could bring her home, right? For days after that, I struggled between that hope and doubt. I really struggled. When loved ones pass away, you hear the common phrase that it was part of God's plan. My doubt creeping in had me thinking, how could this be part of anybody's plan? I'm here to tell you, though, that she was brought home safely, and I can see where God was at work throughout that search. The escape car that had been buried completely was noticed by a passerby just because the rear light was reflecting through the sun shining in on it. And she was found in the wilderness by 4 horseback riders, where one was a retired marshal and his wife had just seen the Amber Alert notification and picture. Missing for a week, she was found, and God brought her home. Is that the end of my story? No, because for years I have struggled with the grief and anger, but at the same time rejoicing in the beautiful life that is that young girl. I remind her and tell her of the love that was her mother. I look into her son's eyes and can see my friend, but at the same time, angry that she doesn't get to be called Grandma. Does that mean I give up and turn away from God? I don't think so. There's a song, Too Good to Not Believe, and a phrase that rings out when I hear it. I've lived stories that have proved your faithfulness. I've seen miracles my mind can't comprehend, and there is beauty in what I can't understand. Jesus, it's you.